Hey guys, let's jump right on into the pool and talk about water polo. Now, water polo, for those people that don't know, is the sport that I play. And to describe what the sport is, it's essentially a sport with the play field of soccer, with the nets and all, but the roughness of football. It's a contact sport where you're constantly beating on each other, and water. It is a beautiful combination of these three things that results in a very fun and engaging few minutes, which it is actually one of the shorter games to watch. So it's just an intense, fun, short game to be able to go and watch should you ever have a spare hour or two. Anyways, I have played water polo for so long that I have been able to get the players that play in it down to a science. That's right, I can boil down those 6 field players that are always out there into these certain categories that will hold true for every team. These are vital members that if a team is missing any one of them, it will fall apart completely. So here they are, my 6 most valuable players in water polo. We're going to go ahead and start off with the fastest ones of them all, the speed demons. Now, you have to start with the speed demons because if you don't, they'll be way off in the distance before you ever get to them. Speed demons are players that have been swimming since they were about, born. They've been swimming for so long that they can breathe water, and when they are forced to go underwater for long periods of time, it's no issue, as they can practically live under the water. Speed demons are super fast and super good at swimming, which makes them absolutely perfect for the parts of water polo that require speed, including the way that we get the ball. You see, in water polo, to get the ball, the referee drops a ball into the center of the pool, and both teams have to send sprinters, which I'm calling speed demons, a way better term for them, who will go and race for the ball, and the first one to get it gets possession. Without these players, you never get the ball, and you never win. Plus, they're also great for getting the ball and having these giant getaways where they run away with the ball in the water so they get to the other side and are able to score without any defenders on them. Those speed demons sure know how to speed on by. Next up, we have the Bruiser. Now, Bruisers are extremely important because, as I mentioned, water polo is a contact sport, and bruisers are the people that love contact. A bruiser is someone who will get right up in your face and get up on you and will take you out if you so much as touch that water polo ball. Bruisers can often be seen in the set position, which is essentially in the center right next to the goal, but can also be seen pretty much anywhere as your most rough defenders and offensive players in the pool. You mess with a bruiser and you become the third category, the bruised. Now, each team needs to have a bruised because without them, you wouldn't have a bruiser. A bruised is a person that often gets paired up with the bruiser and thus gets very used to getting pummeled 24/7. A bruised can take about any punishment and is the perfect counter to any other team's bruiser, as no matter what you do to them, they seem to just be absolutely fine. Drown them for 5 minutes? Fine. Punch them in the face? Fine. Bruised are just invincible. I don't know. They have the nerves and the guts and the strength of steel and are just about as undentable. The bruised are a vital part because without them, everyone else would just get pummeled into a pulp. But with them, only one person does, and that person can take it. Next up is the cannon. Now, the cannon is probably what most people know the best as the MVP or the shooter. The cannon is the person that most often gets the ball and just launches it towards the net. Now, I say towards and not into because that ball doesn't always go into a net. much like a reckless cannon, if they miss their aiming just a little bit, just a tinge, that ball goes rocketing out into the bar and back and rebounds into your face. Or the ball can hit the bar, go way up high, go into space before coming back down. Or the ball can simply go over the cage into the audience and cause a lot of ruckus. The cannon is great because they can get those goals, but they are also bad because if you miss those shots, well, you are a cannon. But don't get me wrong, a cannon is a very important part of the team and someone who no team could ever win without. Next up, we have the cannons counter, which I would like to call the wall. Now, if you've ever heard that phrase, you couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, the wall is the broadside of the barn, and they make sure that they are very hittable. The wall will go right up in front of the cannon, get up in their face, and make it so that the cannon cannot launch. Or if they do, that the ball is, instead of going into the cage, goes into the hands of the wall. Walls can also be goalies, as goalies, of course, need to protect the goals that they are in front of. But you can also see them very prevalently as these brilliant defenders who are able to just stay there with their hands up, their faces stern, and just always be in your way, no matter which way you swim or what turn you do or whatever. A wall will always be there, immovable and strong. Next up, we have what I would like to call the underappreciated. Now, the underappreciated is the person that gives the passes. They're the person that's always kind of there. They might get a steal once or twice, but they'll never make that final shot. They're just kind of this in-between player that helps out a lot of people but never gets their turn in the spotlight. I mean, sure, it's nice to have all those stats where you have about 200 assists, but if you never make the goal, the cheering's not for you. So, the underappreciated, ultimately, which is why they don't count against my 6. So number 6 is the tactician. And tacticians are people who, unlike in other games or other fields where tacticians need to be quiet or strategic, tacticians in water polo are people who are loud and they make their ideas heard. Their ideas don't necessarily need to be correct, they just need to be heard. Having the entire team unified behind this one idea instead of 20 good ideas is vital, because once everyone is focused on one idea, you can all fail as a team instead of kind of maybe succeeding individually. All jokes aside, the tactician is great because there's someone who is not afraid to screw up. There's someone who's able to look at a situation, see some possibilities, and choose one, knowing full well it is their responsibility what happens to that ball after that choice has been made. A tactician is great and vital and important, and they are someone to be admired, I say, as a semi-tactician kind of. Anyways, there you have it, the 6 players of water polo: the speed demon who always gets there first, the bruiser who takes you out, the bruised who can be taken out about 1,000,000 times, the cannon who shoots for good or for worse, the wall who blocks and can never be moved, and the tactician who shouts no matter what they're really sure of or not. Without any of these players, and I guess the underappreciated, a team would not be a team. You wouldn't be able to do the things that water polo requires you to do, and that is why water polo is such a great sport. It doesn't require just greatness from one person. You can't just have a Kobe or a Phelps or whatever. You can't have one great person to really succeed in water polo. To succeed in water polo, you need a strong team of people with different skills who can rely on each other and the decisions that each other make so that you can be one cohesive unit. And to that effect, I'd just like to thank all of my teammates from high school. You guys were amazing teammates. You were absolutely incredible. I feel like despite our kind of lack of success in the last year, we were really a team and we really trusted each other. And I really value that. Even as I move on to my new water polo team at the University of Arizona, be confident and sure that I will not forget all of those crazy memories that we have had together. Because, you know, knowing everyone in a team is just one of the best experiences that you can have. So, cheesy rants aside, that was the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. I really appreciate all of it. But most of all, what I would like you to do is to soar high and enjoy the ride of life. And have a great day. Bye.